Eastern outward here. This is the buck that I killed in Missouri this past year. I just wanted to give the full story of what happened, how I killed it. I couldn't get it on camera. I know it's not the biggest buck. It looks like it at this angle, but I'm sure he's only about 50 or 60 inches. But to some people, this could be a big buck. But growing up in Florida, this would have been. But this is my first buck that I actually picked a pin on a map and actually went to it and killed it. So I wish I would have done a European mount on this deer, but just for the sake of the trip, it was just so quick, and I didn't. But anyway, pretty buck. It's just very symmetrical, but had it I known, I wish I would have done this in European mount. But anyway, moving forward. So it was actually, I think, 2 or 3 days into the trip. I think it was actually 3 days into the trip. I was sitting there at early morning, and I'm just going to go in full motion. I got in real early that morning, and it just didn't seem like much was going on. But about 7:25, I had a big body deer come up from behind me. And granted, that few days, I thought I heard some deer coming up from behind me up on this ridge I couldn't see over. And down where I was sitting, I could see a lot further. So I was just sitting down in there, and it was just thick. And I said, I bet you there's a bunch of deer in here coming. So there wasn't much else on the property that we had, because a lot of people were in there between us on our group, but couldn't move much because of the size of the property. So, but anyway, so I was sitting up in there, and I just heard this deer, and up and behold, behind me, the biggest bodied 3-point or 4-point I ever seen in my life. I think it was a 3-point. Came and walked. And in this year in Missouri, there was a no-point restriction in the county because of CWD. And I'm going to not lie, I almost shot that deer. That deer weighed over 350 pounds. And I got some pictures of it going through the brush. That thing was absolutely massive. The camera didn't even pick up how big it was. This deer, body-wise, and this deer was 200 pounds, 200 and so pounds. It just did not pick up the glory of how big that deer was. But anyway, so I said, after that deer come through, I thought about it. After the deer left, it was probably about 8:15. So I said, I'm going to sit here for a few minutes. So I sat there, got all my stuff together, and I said, shoot. I said, I wish I would have been there, because I thought I heard some of that more that morning come up before that. And, well, lo and behold, so I was actually talking to Southern Woodsman, which is another YouTube channel. I would suggest that you go check him out during all this, because he was hunting that morning. And I got up, was in the process of getting everything moved up, but I was all on the ground during this. Didn't have the tree stand capabilities for those areas because the trees weren't very big. But anyway, I was all going through there, and I was getting my camera arm. I was actually in the process of setting my camera arm up, and lo and behold, coming down a corn row with his nose to the ground was this buck. I saw him with this side, and I said, I know he ain't very big, but we're getting close on days. And I said, we need to meet. No one else has killed nothing. I said, I'm just going to go ahead and kill him. So he was at about close to 60 yards. And I said, well, not 6, that's just nothing. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger. And he went about 40 or so, 50 yards, and piled up in front of me. And the briars, of all places, died right in the road, but just 2 feet off the road, but died in a whole bunch of briars. And but I couldn't complain at all. I mean, he allowed me just to drag him 2 or 3 feet, and he was right on the corn row. then I could drive a four-wheeler right too. So, easiest deer I've ever had to drag. So, he was a heck of a deer for that reason. He was one of the smallest body deer I've ever killed in Missouri. This was a place we've never been before. New piece of property, permission property, but we did pay for it. But we're actually considering going public land this year, because out of all the people in our group, I believe we had 5 people this year. We only killed 4 deer, and 2 of us, we both killed 2 apiece. So, and throughout the entire week, I think I only saw 6 or 7 deer. And generally, in our other place that was sold, we saw 6 or 7 on the first day. So, it was an exciting week to say the least. We didn't see very many deer. The first buck I saw on the day, and the first deer I saw was a nice buck, way bigger than this one. He was in the 120s, as a 13 point. And I wish I would have shot that deer. And I had the feeling he just kept sticking around. I knew I probably should have shot him. And generally on the other place, I would have passed that deer in a heartbeat. But I don't know. This deer is a pretty deer. And I just figured I would share the story. I'm glad that I got to kill him, because he's provided a lot of good meat for us. He's going to bring a lot of good fellowship over it. And it's not always about the horn size, it's about the memories that you get. I do wish I could have got the camera on camera, because it would have been an amazing camera footage. But it didn't happen. So next year, or this coming season, I'm going to try to do even better. But it's just so hard as a cameraman. Some people think, oh, it must be so easy to do all of this filming. But sometimes, I tell you, man, filming is the most difficult thing to do as a hunter, because sometimes you got to make a decision between getting a deer and, just saying, hey, let's just do this instead. But this year, I may make or break it, because I'm just gonna just go for it and say I'm not gonna either shoot or I'm just gonna get the deer. So I think I'm just gonna try to get the deer on camera this year. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I just wanted to try to give an insights detailed video of how it went. If y'all ever just want me to talk about how our camp is, what it's like to be, what it is, in our group, I'd be happy to tell you. We're pretty relaxed camp, but we enjoy killing bigger bucks. But at the same time, we just try to have fun, fellowship while we're there, and eat. We do enjoy eating. There's not we bring snacks, but we do enjoy eating a lot. So, but anyway, hope y'all have a great week, and see y'all for the next video.